Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Shalom Israel, Yah Bashim Shabbat, Yah Shema, Bashim Ashar, priest and captain Shema Allah report doing the Queens class, ISUPK Queens. I know nowadays with the whole thing with Ukraine, Russia, what's going on all over the world, World War III is on the brink. But we live in a time of biblical prophecy, and it's one thing the Bible talks about is what's going to happen to what's going to happen to all the nations. What's going to happen to blacks, Hispanics, and Americans? What's going to happen to our oppressor, Africans, Chinese, Japanese, and all that? And the Bible talks about that, right? We're going to go to slavery of the other nations. Go to Isaiah 45 and 14.
Khan. Isaiah chapter 49 and verse
45.
45, verse 14. Thus saith the Most High, the labor of Egypt and the merchandise of Ethiopia and the Sabians, men of stature.
Men of stature. What does it say in the book of Revelation? Christ's gonna have many crowns on it. Say he's gonna take crowns. He's gonna take lands back. Read on.
Khan shall come over unto thee, and they shall be thine.
They shall be thine, but we're gonna own them as slaves. Read on.
Khan. They shall come after thee. In chains they shall come over, and they shall fall down unto thee. They shall make supplication unto thee, saying, surely the power is in thee, and there is none else. There is no power.
That's right. They're gonna come in chains. That's how they brought us over here in America in chains. Just like they took our Native American Indian brother and how our Spanish brother over to Seville, Spain, Christopher Columbus with his wicked behind. We're gonna bring them over here in chains. Go to Isaiah 60 and 12. No, Isaiah 49, 23. 49, 23.
Isaiah chapter 49 and verse 23. And kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers. They shall bow down to thee with their face towards the earth, and lick up the dust of thy feet. And thou shalt know that I am the Most High, for they shall not be ashamed that wait for me.
We should not be ashamed that wait for the Most High. We're going to do it to them. That's what the members of the ISUPK are doing. Brothers and sisters in the ISUPK, we're going to be waiting on the Most High. We're not ashamed of it, man. And in that day, they're going to look up. That's how we have them give that boot kiss at camp. You know what I mean? They're going to look up. They're going to bow down. That's the other nation. The other nations are in slavery. Go to Isaiah 60 and 12.
Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 12. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted.
Anybody who don't want to bow, they're going to get destroyed. They're going to get put to death. Christ is
right.
going to put them to death who don't want to bow down.
That's right.
You know our oppressor ain't going to want to bow down. He fought too long and hard to get this world the way it is. He going to come out of when the nuclear bombs go off, when the fallout from the nuclear holocaust go off, they're going to come out from the underground cities and out of their bunkers, man.
Right.
They're going to fight them. We're going to put them to death.
Absolutely.
Thus saith the Lord. Not my words, but the Most High's words.
Khan.
Go to in a second, Slocky.
Khan. If you're viewing right now, please like and share the broadcast. Like, share, comment, subscribe.
Now go to Isaiah 14 and 1.
Come. Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 1. For the Most High will have mercy on Jacob.
Most High shall have mercy on Jacob. Who's Jacob? Blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians, Seminole Indians.
That's right.
He will have mercy on us. Read on.
And will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them.
And strangers, the other nations going to be joined. But how are they going to be joined? Read on.
And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Verse 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Most High for servants and handmaids.
That's right. These are servants and what's that? Slaves. We're going to possess. What is possess? We're going to own them.
Right.
Other nations are going into slavery.
That's right.
That's the future of our oppressor who you love so much. Chinese, Japanese, East Indian, Arab, You know, like a lot of people that worship that rock in Mecca, make them so subservient to them Arabs.
Right.
They going into chain. They going into slavery. Go to Revelations 2:26.
Come on, come. Revelations chapter 2 and verse 26. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations.
Who that overcome and endure to the end. That's why the scriptures say, he that endure to the end, the same shall be saved. And we gotta keep on fighting. It ain't over yet. It's almost over, but it's not over. We almost got the prize. Don't give up now if you're in this truth. And if you're not in this truth, you hear my words, you hear the words of the priests and prophets every Saturday, every Friday on YouTube, Instagram, Clubhouse, and all that. Get in this body, man.
That's right.
Before it's too late. We're gonna have power over nations. Read on verse 27.
Verse 27. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my father.
That's how we're gonna rule them, but with a rod of iron. We ain't gonna spare the rod. We gonna get them.
That's right.
A lot of them, they ain't gonna want to bow now. They ain't gonna want to fight. They're gonna want to get up and fight. They're gonna try to revolt and all that. You know what I mean? They fought too long and hard for this kingdom to be the way it is. They fought too long and hard to have black families on the bottom, filling prison systems, filling the abortion clinics, killing each other, making us hate each other because of our skin color.
Right.
You a few shades darker than me, or some stupid, or you live on this block, I live on that block, so we gotta hate each other.
That's right.
We wearing this color, we wearing that color, so we gotta hate each other. We gotta kill each other. We're looking at each other like we're enemy. When really, our enemies are the other nations. They're gonna be put to death. Go to Revelation 13 and 9.
Revelations chapter 13 and verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear.
You can understand this. Read on.
Verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
He that leadeth shall go. Not maybe, not possibly. Not God is still thinking about it. He didn't make up his mind. No, he shall go into captivity. How do we get over here in America? Captivity.
Right.
How we not in our home in Israel, period. No matter where we are on earth, captivity.
Right.
So he that leaves shall go into captivity. We've been in captivity under every nation on this earth at one point. The white man's captivity is the most recent, and it's the last one.
That's right.
After him, so he got to go. Read on.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. They got to die.
Damn right.
Our oppressor has to go. He has to get put to death. There's no getting right. Go to Psalms 2 and 8.
Psalms chapter 2 and verse 8. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession.
See that? Ask of me. That's the Lord saying, ask me, and I shall give you the heathen for your possession, man. Then we got that prayer of the curses.
Right.
Yeah. Bring death and destruction to Esau, to Edomites and the nation, and their drug dealers, and their court systems, and their prison. That's what we're doing. We asking that for the Lord to bring judgment down.
That's right.
You can do too if you keep these laws, statutes, and it also says, and the uttermost parts of earth shall be thy possession, man. We're gonna own the world, man.
That's right.
Well, it says scripture says where we put our foot, we're gonna own it.
Right.
Oh, man, what's that scripture? I forget. But there's a scripture that says that. It said where we put our foot, we're gonna own it.
Damn right.
We're gonna get our land back. We're gonna get Israel back, the Middle East back. But we're gonna own Europe, Asia, Australia, New Zealand, everything, man. We're gonna own it all, man. And everybody who's living, they're gonna be our slaves. Go to 2nd Ezra 15 and 56 in the Apocryphal Biblical Show.
I'm sorry. So you said 2nd Esdras?
2nd Esdras 15:56. 15 chapter 56 verse.
2nd Esdras chapter 15 and verse 56. Like as thou hast done unto my chosen, saith the Most High, even so shall the power do unto thee,
Mm-hmm.
and shall deliver thee into mischief.
See that? Just like he did to us, but we're the Most High's children, man.
That's right.
That's like how our oppressor did to us, the other nations did to us, we shall do to them.
Damn right.
You know what I mean? That's this biblical prophecy, man. That's no getting around it. That's not my, that's God's right there. That's coming out the Bible. You know what I mean? Just like they brought us over chains, we're gonna put them in chains.
That's right.
They exploit us, we're gonna exploit them. We're gonna have businesses in their neighborhoods and don't give them no money.
That's right.
We're gonna do it to them. You know what I mean? Now we got that. Now we go who the salvation is for. Go to Psalms 14 and 7.
Psalms chapter 14 and verse 7. Oh, that the salvation of Israel were come out of Zion, when the Most High brings back the captivity of his people, Jacob shall rejoice, and Israel shall be glad.
He said, oh, that salvation of Israel, blacks and Hispanics, not everybody else. When the Lord bring it back to captivity, when he said bring it back to captivity, he's gonna bring it up again. He's gonna remind everybody about it again. Pretty soon you can see people start talking about it.
Right.
What happened to us in slavery. You know what I mean? Every now and again, somebody comes out and says we got post-traumatic stress disorder. I mean, it's little conversations about here and there, but it's gonna really come back and pretty soon on the news and all that.
Damn right.
On the radio, it's gonna come back. And everybody gonna know we're God's chosen people. Go to Psalms 53 and 6.
Psalms chapter 53 and verse 6. Oh, that the salvation of Israel were come out of Zion, when the Most High bringeth back the captivity of his people, Jacob shall rejoice, and Israel shall be glad.
So David, that's what David was saying right there. The same thing. Salvation is for Israelites, man. Nobody else.
That's right.
I don't care what you hear in the Christian, God and sending his son down here to save white people. Save Israel.
Whosoever.
Yeah, whosoever. But what about that, bro? John 3:16. Whosoever now. You know what I mean? Whosoever now. But what did Christ say in Matthew 15:20? I am not sent but unto the Lord sheep of the house.
That's right.
That's out of his mouth.
Right.
He said, I didn't make it up. We didn't make this up. He said that. Go to Hebrews 9:15.
I don't come. Slovakia. Hebrews chapter 9 and verse 15. And for this cause, he is the mediator of the New Testament, that by means of death, for the redemption of the transgressions that were under the first testament.
See that? Christ is that mediator for the new. Those who are under what? The first testament. Who's under the first testament? Israelites.
Right.
You know, Israelites like Job witness to that spiritual Israel God. That's in the New Testament right here. When Paul is saying he's redeeming those who are under the first testament. It was only Israelites in the wilderness with Moses.
That's right.
Didn't try with Judges and Samuel and Kings and Chronicles. It was only Israelites. It wasn't these other nations, man. You know what I mean? So that's who Christ died. Well, Christ came to be the mediator for us.
That's right.
For blacks and Native American, not anybody else. Go to Isaiah 46 and 13.
Come. Isaiah chapter 46 and verse 13. I bring near my righteousness, it shall not be far off, and my salvation shall not tarry. And I will place salvation in Zion for Israel, my glory.
See that, my salvation shall not tarry. He's not going to let the scriptures say this. He shortened the days for our elect's sake, but there might be no flesh left.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So his salvation is not going to tarry, and he's doing it for Zion, for Israel and his glory, right? Not for everybody else. Go to same book, Isaiah 45 and 17.
Khan. Isaiah chapter 45, verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Most High with an everlasting salvation. He shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end.
Israel shall be saved, not everybody else. That's the world that Christ was talking about when he said, "But God so loved the world" in John 3:16. That's the world of Israelites, not everybody else. There's a difference between the earth and the world. You got the earth you live in, you got different worlds. You got Israelite world, you got the white man's world, rich man world. We say it in everyday language. There's a whole other world down there, where they live at. You know what I mean? Did that mean we got on a spaceship and went to another planet? No. You walk a few blocks, it's a different world, different way of life, different people. That's all it means.
Right.
Go to Isaiah 52:7.
Isaiah chapter 52 and verse 7. How beautiful upon the mountains are the feet of him that bringeth good tidings, that publisheth peace, that bringeth good tidings and good, that publisheth salvation, that save unto Zion, thy most high reigneth.
Say it's to Zion, the most high, man. Who is that? Man, that's talking about Christ, man. He brings salvation. Is a black man, by the way, from the tribe of Judah. He brings salvation to Israel, not everybody else.
That's right.
Go to Isaiah 62:1.
Khan. Isaiah chapter 62, verse 1. For Zion's sake will I not hold my peace, and for Jerusalem's sake I will not rest until the righteousness thereof go forth as brightness, and the salvation thereof as a lamp that burneth.
You see that? For Zion's sake, for Israel's sake, that's what he's talking about. He will not hold back. He will not hold his peace. He can bring a war to this earth, man.
That's right.
This earth about to go to war, but the World War III.
That's right.
Joe Biden said it before too, man. I think when he first got, he said we coming towards World War III.
Yeah,
There's no stopping it. There's no stop with Russia and all that.
Right.
Egypt shall go against the Egyptians. You know what I mean?
Right.
Fighting against himself now.
You
know what I mean? Things is gonna happen. China getting into it. Everybody getting into it. Drop down to verse 11.
Isaiah chapter 52 and verse 11. Behold, the Most High hath proclaimed unto the end of the world, say ye to the daughter of Zion, behold, thy salvation cometh. Behold, his reward is with him, and his work before him.
See that? The daughter of Zion, thy salvation is coming. We almost out here, black people. It's in the American, and we almost out of here. Endure to the end. Don't give up. Now I know it's gonna be hard. It's gonna get rough.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's gonna be shortage of food. I mean, he's already shortage of food. That's what they call that shrinkflation.
Right.
You know what I mean? I know it's that too. Me buy like a bottle of juice, it's slimmer.
Right.
It's the same price, but it's slim. The bottle is slimmer. You know, the bottle is slimmer. It's not as much in the bag. The potato chips are not much in the bag. The trail mix or not as much in the bag when you buy it.
Right.
You know, the package of meat is small, but it costs the same thing.
Right.
You know, that's this food shortage. I mean, that was prophesied it's gonna be famine.
That's right.
COVID-19, monkeypox. All that's coming back. You can still get sexually transmitted diseases.
Right.
You know, that's still prevalent.
AIDS and all
that's still out there.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's gonna get worse and worse. Go to Jeremiah 3:23.
Okay. Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse 23. Truly, in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills and from the multitude of mountains. Truly, in the Most High, our power is the salvation of Israel.
It's truly the Most High, the salvation, not everybody else. God don't love everybody, man. He's the Lord. Have not the power over, because he can hate who he want to hate and love who he want to love. He can do whatever he feel like doing.
That's right.
And he hates our oppressor with that. He gonna get no salvation, but everybody else going into captivity.
That's right.
Or get death. Go to Zechariah 9:9.
Come. The book of Zechariah, chapter 9 and verse 9. Rejoice greatly, O daughter of Zion. Shout, O daughter of Jerusalem. Behold, thy king cometh unto thee. He is just, and his salvation, lowly, and riding upon an ass, and upon a colt a fowl of an ass.
You see that? That's talking about Christ right there. Like, everybody knows when Christ came rolling in on a donkey.
Right.
You know what I mean? So rejoice, great old daughter of Zion or daughter of Jerusalem. Israelites, man. The Old Testament, the New Testament talk about the same thing Old Testament talking about.
That's right.
It's just probably just bringing about what the Old Testament trying to say. That's all it is. That's all Christ is doing. That was the mission of Christ. To go up on that cross to die for our sins and to bring the nation of Israel back together. To be no more two kingdoms.
That's right.
Go to Luke 1:69.
The book of Luke, chapter 1 and verse 69. And hath raised up an horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David.
See, they had raised up a horn of salvation for us. Us is a possessive word.
That's right.
For us. It's for blacks and the American, and it's Seminole, and it's for us, not for everybody else. Christ didn't die for everybody else. Christ's not coming back for everybody else. You know what I mean? You gotta get with that. Our people need to get with that. You gotta get that Christian church, man. You see what's happening to the Christian church? They getting robbed and all.
Right,
you know what I mean? Your Christian church is not where it's at.
Right.
You've been Christian since slavery. It
Con.
has not worked. Islam has not worked.
Right.
I was a hype over the Malcolm X when he went like this and did all that.
Yeah.
Be a Muslim now, you know, that ain't work, did it?
Right. Con.
That ain't work,
Con.
did it? You know what I mean? Buddha don't work.
Right.
Scientology doesn't work.
Kind
All
of
that don't work. Only thing that works is this Bible, and the Bible is a book of laws, statutes, and commandments that our people have to keep or get put to destruction.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Go to John 4:22.
Kind of what con. The book of John, chapter 4 and verse 42.
4:22, Slack.
4 and 22?
4:22, Slack, I'm sorry.
No sweat, sir. John chapter 4 and verse 22. Ye worship ye not what? Slack. Ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews.
Salvation is of the Jews. Why are you saying to the Samaritan? Because she was in Samaria and they was like converts. You read that book in the book of Kings, they were like converts. You know what I'm saying? They were trying to act like they want us.
Right.
People like say Ethiopian Jews and things like that. So that's why Christ said, you don't know what you worship. You not worshiping. There's no order in them.
Right.
Salvations of the Jews. Don't think that's why you got in the Bible you talk about the Samaritan and the Good Samaritan.
Right.
So the Good Samaritan is an Israelite.
Right.
Who just living in the land of Samaria, but she was an Israelite. But this Samaritan here was not an Israelite.
Right.
She was a heathen. She's African.
Con.
Who's trying to claim our identity.
Right. Con.
That's not what that is. So salvations of the Jews. Go to Acts 13:26.
Con. Acts chapter 13 and verse 26. Men and brethren, children of the stock of Abraham, and whosoever among you feareth the power, to you is the word of this salvation sent.
Of the stock of Abraham begat Isaac, begat Jacob. You know what I mean?
That's right.
That's who salvation is for. It's for those people, for that bloodline. It's a bloodline thing. Go ahead. You want to say something?
You're right, concert.
Go ahead.
So when it says the stock, those are because I would assume Muslims might try to say, well, Ishmael's of the stock, but the stock would be the chosen seed, which would be Isaac and Jacob. Right. Okay. Kind of one kind.
That's how I saw men and brethren.
Right.
It says brother, who brothers? Blacks and the American Indians, not everybody else. And you also go to Romans 9 when it says all that others are not Israel.
All right.
You know what I mean? Just because you living in that land because you came out of the loins of Abraham. Remember, Abraham had 8 sons.
Right.
He had 8 children.
Right.
But only what is about and Isaac should I see be called.
That's right.
And Isaac had Jacob.
Right. Come.
And he had Esau too, but Esau wasn't chosen.
But Jacob get the promise. Right.
Go to the Apocrypha, Ecclesiastes. No, the book of Esther and the Apocrypha, the best of Esther 13 and 13.
Come on. The book of Esther, chapter 13 and verse 13. For I could have been content with good for the salvation of Israel to kiss the soles of his feet.
You see that? But the salvation of Israel gets the soles of his feet, man.
That's right.
They're gonna get the soles of our feet, man. They're gonna be cleaning for us. All they're gonna do today, they're gonna do for us.
Right.
They're gonna do for us. That's salvation. That's the kingdom of heaven. That's the gospel.
Right.
That's the good news. You know what I mean? That's the good news. It's not what the Christian church saying, that beating tambourine, jump up and down and speaking in tongues. You know what I'm saying? What they talking about, and everybody gets to come together and hold hands and kumbaya.
Right.
No, it's not gonna be like that.
That's right.
It's gonna be like that. Christ come back to bring death and destruction on this earth for what they have done to God's chosen people.
That's right.
Go to Baruch 4:24.
Come. Salaki, so. Baruch chapter 4 and verse 24.
Mm-hmm.
Like as now the neighbors of Zion have seen your captivity,
Mm-hmm.
so shall thou see shortly your salvation from our power.
You see that? The neighbors of Zion, the countries around, they have seen that captivity. They had a hand in it. But shortly, they shall see the salvation.
That's right.
They're going to see that coming from soon. They're going to see that. And then everybody reads the Bible, man. Everybody, I mean, Ronald Reagan knew it. That's why he said, you know, what will happen for outside
Right.
NC will come, but we put away our petty differences.
All right.
You know what I mean? I mean, he knew, he read the Bible, he understood the Bible. He read it. You know what I mean? That's why he started that Space Force program. They're gonna fight Christ and the angels.
Oh,
They're
right.
gonna get wiped out. How you gonna fight the Most High? Come on now.
Con.
You know what I mean? Go to where was that?
That was Baruch 14. Excuse me, that was Baruch 4
Right?
and 24.
Go to, Ecclesiasticus 17 and 17.
Con. Ecclesiasticus chapter 17 and verse 17. For in the division of the nations of the whole earth set a ruler over every people, but Israel is the Lord's portion.
You see that? In division, everybody gonna get put back in their own lane. It's not meant for everybody to be co-mingling together like this. China going back to China, you know, Japanese go Japanese, Arabs, we go wherever they want to go, whatever like that. But Israel is the Lord's portion. We're gonna have garrisons, just like how the United States have military bases all over the place, all over different countries. If you go get, when you serve the military, you might get stationed. Like I had a cousin, she was in Germany for years. That's where the military had her station. You know, stationed over there in Germany, Korea, something like that.
Right.
We're gonna be like that. We're gonna have bases in their land.
Right.
We're gonna watch over them, make sure they don't get out of line. They're gonna be our slaves.
Right.
They're gonna serve us. It's my last scripture. Go to Jeremiah 46 and 27.
Okay. Jeremiah chapter 46 and verse 27. But fear not thou, O my servant Jacob, and be not dismayed, O Israel, for behold, I will save thee from afar off, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return and be in rest and at ease, and none shall make him afraid.
You see that? He gonna bring us out of our land of captivity, and we're gonna rest and be at ease. We ain't ease. We in ease right now. It's uncertainty in America. You afraid to walk down the damn street?
Right.
You might get shot by a cop or something like that. God forbid you get pulled over. You know what I mean? You might die that night. You know what I mean? You might die right there getting shot by the cop. Where these cops are killing us nowadays, all the violence and everything. I mean, you watch the news every day. It's something.
Right.
It's something new. Somebody got shot. Somebody got beat up or something. We living in fearful times.
That's right.
You know what I mean? But we're gonna be either none shall make us afraid. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be so secure,
right,
empowering. We gonna walk wherever we want to walk, do whatever we want to do. Because it's lawful, and nobody gonna be able to touch us.
That's right. Damn right.
And with that, I'm gonna end the class. Yah Bashmi and Shabbat, Yah Shmata Bashmi and Shah.